औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है पाकिस्तान मूवमेंट के बारे में, फ्रॉम द हिस्ट्री टू द प्रेजेंट। पाकिस्तान मूवमेंट शॉर्टली. Pakistan is our beloved country, and for getting Pakistan there were a lot of sacrifices which our ancestors gave. Pakistan was not gotten on a piece of just as a piece of land, neither was it gotten as a paper or something on plate. Pakistan was gotten after a lot of sacrifices, stress, anxiety, hard work, and lots of other things. It was gotten with the blood of the people. It is the sacrifice of our ancestors, it is the sacrifice of the Muslim spirit. Pakistan is the second country in the world after Medina which got independence on the name of Islam. Pakistan is not just Pakistan. Pakistan is the land of the pure. Pakistan is an Islamic country. Pakistan is the representative of all the Muslim countries in this world. Pakistan is a beautiful land. Pakistan is history. Pakistan is culture. Pakistan is the land to the side of which our holy prophet, peace be upon him, said, from this part of the world there comes a beautiful air, there comes a vibe, there comes a pleasant air. So Pakistan is our beloved country. It was the honor and responsibility of our ancestors to get Pakistan, and today it is the honest responsibility and duty, I would say the obligatory of we people to make Pakistan reach to glorious heights of success. We see there are a lot of downfalls, pitfalls, loopholes in Pakistan, but we are committed. We are hopeful that one day our country will be on a great zenith of success. Our country will be very progressive. Our country would be called the most developed country in this world. So let's get started with today's lecture of us, that is historical events in Pakistan, the Pakistan movement in chronological order. What is chronological order? Chronological order means date wise, from first to the end. Here we see we start from 1857 and then we move towards the next years, 1906, 1940, 47, 1956, 1958, 71, 77, 88, 98 and 2001. These important chronological perspectives will be discussed in our today's lecture, so let's delve into it. Pre-independence era, 1857 War of Independence. Now, what is the 1857 War of Independence? There is a little background to this event of War of Independence. What is the background? The background is that in this era, in this area which was called the subcontinent, only Hindus dwelt. The Hindus were very powerful and they were here from a very from a very ancient time. And then there was a Raja called Raja Dahir. When the ships of the Muslims were passing from a passage of this area, the dacoits, the pirates of the area of Hindus just took over the Muslims, took their all luggage, their gold, their treasure, their ladies, their boats and everything, and it was taken by Raja Dahir. When one of the representatives and emperors of Muslims from the Hijaz and Najd, Saudi Arabia, said to the people from here, from Hind, the Raja Dahir did not respond well to them, and therefore a war broke out. In 712, Muhammad bin Qasim came into India as a Muslim conqueror whose age was merely 17 years. He was strong, with great intellect, with great mind, and a fine army. With his wisdom and intelligence and his warrior skills, he came here and conquered Sindh, along with all the Hind, which was a very long and big area at that time. After that, that was the first time that most of the historians say that Pakistan was made on the day when Muhammad bin Qasim first stepped into Hind. And then in 1947, as we will be discussing, Pakistan came into independence. Now, when these all things happened, At that time, the Muslims and Hindus became together like brothers, more than brothers. There were a lot of differences in them. Despite all those differences, they were not alike, but they had very much love between them. They kept living with each other, sharing their culture with each other, living like brothers with each other after Muhammad bin Qasim came and Muslims started to live over here. But then in 1800 and something, there was East India Company, which was of the British from United Kingdom or England. When the British people came, they had a reason to come. They said that we are here for trading. Therefore, the emperors, the Muslim emperors like Aurangzeb, Shah Jahan, etc., gave them permission to trade in this land. They came as traders and then they increased their power. They increased their power to such an extent and level that the Muslims were overshadowed and the Hindus as well. They saw the Hindus and Muslims, which were a poor community at that time, saw and thought that the British are doing wrong with us by snatching our rights from us. And then at that time, the Muslims and Hindus became together. They were in a bond of brotherhood not felt before, not felt afterwards. They were in a complete harmony in order to expel the British from their country, which was their great Hind. So in 1857, the Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Baha'is, all the communities of India became one, united themselves to fight against the British. The Muslims were very enthusiastic to fight, and the Hindus as well. And this was the point in 1857 where the Hindus showed their nature for the first time, and the Muslims realized that the Hindus cannot be our brothers. In 1857, which is also known as the War of Mutiny, the War of Rebellion, and the War of Sepoys, the Indian Rebellion of 1857, also known as the Sepoy Mutiny. In this, all the people of India, of Hindustan, the great Hindustan of that time, the united India of that time, became one and fought against the British, the Muslims as well. When the war finished and it was a mutiny against the British, when the British least expected it, the thing that happened astounded the Muslims very astoundingly. What happened? After the war was over, the Hindu people went to the conferences, went to the people of British and said to them that we are with you, but all the war was fought by only the Muslims. And at that time, the British people became very much against the Muslims, and the Muslims were devoid of jobs. Muslims were devoid of competitive examinations. Muslims were devoid of their basic rights like education, healthcare, and everything vanished away from there. And from that point onwards, the Muslims completely realized that the Hindus cannot be our brothers. And at that time, it was a stronger thing that the Muslims realized that we cannot live with Hindus. And during that time, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan played a pivotal role in order to prevent the English people to have bias against the Muslims, which was created by the Hindus. He wrote different kind of books, in which one of the most famous books is the Causes of the Indian Revolt by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, in which he described who did these all things and why these things happened. What are the rhymes and reasons that these things happened? Why Muslims were rebellious towards the British. In fact, the Muslims were not. It was only the instigation of the Hindus. And then afterwards, they went to the British alone, separately, in camera, in secret, to say them that we have not done the war. The war is waged only by the Muslims. They did a sort of devilishness. 1906, All India Muslim League. Before All India Muslim League, there was no party of Muslims. It was Congress, which was owned by the British, made by A.O. Hume. It was made by A.O. Hume, and it was by the British only, and Hindus participated very well in it. And in 1906, the Muslims thought that we should have a party of our own, where we can represent ourselves and we can tell the people that we also exist, we have our rights also. From this All India Muslim League, AIML, All India Muslim League, the Muslims also got their rights. They thought of their rights and they had a platform now to be united, to wage war for their own rights, to ask for their own rights. To promote Muslim rights and interests, this party was made in 1906 by the Muslims, and the Muslims completely participated in it. First, reluctantly, and then with full wish. 1940 Pakistan Resolution. AIML, All India Muslim League, called for a separate homeland for the Muslims in 1940 in Minto Park, Lahore. Lahore's Minto Park, which is now named as Iqbal Park. From that park, in 1940, Pakistan Resolution was passed, in which all the Muslims came and they said that we need a homeland of our own. Allama Muhammad Iqbal, the poet of the East, the national poet of Pakistan, the writer of the national anthem of India, was the person who represented this, and they wanted a separate homeland. He asked that Sylhet, Sindh, Balochistan, and all the Muslim majority areas like Bangladesh, like today's Bangladesh, and East Pakistan should be separated into one homeland for the Muslims where they can practice their all religious things separately with full freedom. It was a first thing that was made by the Muslims in 1940. Pakistan Resolution was passed. It was said that Pakistan will have existence. Pakistan will be made. There will be a country which will be called of the Muslims separately from the Hindus, because at that time the Muslims had realized that Pakistan should be made because the Hindus are no more our brothers. They will never live with us, though they lived for centuries, but their customs didn't mingle. Muslims believed in one God, monotheism. Hindus have thousands of gods, more than the creatures on earth. They have their gods. And for Muslims, the cow is a sacrificial animal, and for them it is a god. For Muslims can marry with their cousins, but the Hindus do not. There were a lot of things which were very distinct and separate between the Hindus and the Muslims, because of which they could never be brothers in themselves. Independence and early years. This is pre-independence, before independence, and now independence and early years of Pakistan. In 1947, on 14th August, it was a new day for the Muslims of India, where they got a homeland which they could call their own, under the great guidance of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and the dreams of Allama Muhammad Iqbal and the great sacrifices of a lot of Muslim leaders who made day and night together, who burned midnight oil to make Pakistan a reality. Their dream came into reality on 14th of August 1947. And Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah became the first Governor General of Pakistan, who was the head of the state at that time. Like today, Prime Minister or President is the head of the state. 1947. In the same year that Pakistan got independence, there was the first war waged by the bad Hindus. They waged war with Pakistan in the first year of them. The Hindus actually did not think that Pakistan would be a reality. When Pakistan got independence, it was a very weak state. No army of its own. No politicians which could lead it in a best way. No military operations. No hospitals. No services in the government sector offices. Corrupt people in Pakistan, those avaricious, greedy people in Pakistan were the people who were the owners and the politicians in Pakistan. In every office, there was not even pens and markers to write something. There was no stationery. At that time, the Hindus were being happy at the plight of Pakistan, thinking that Pakistan is a child state which will rejoin to their motherland after they have gotten any independence from us. But it did not happen. Allah Almighty was with the Pakistanis, is with the Pakistanis, will be with the Pakistanis, and Pakistan grew. And today, Pakistan is more progressive than it was in 1947. However, the Hindus thought that it is a failed state which will fail and eventually come back to us, but it did not happen with the grace of God. In the first Indo-Pakistan war broke out in 1947 and the issue was Kashmir. And now more than 78 years have passed. This issue of Kashmir has not resolved and it's a great obstacle in the progress of Pakistan. This is told our military will be far from us. Our military will mind their own business. We will not have pressure. And this is the main issue which has been hurdling our thinking since our independence. 1956 Constitution. When Pakistan got independence from 1947, to 1956, there was no constitution of Pakistan, no constitution of our own. But in 1956, Pakistan made a constitution of our own, and then it could be called a constitutional country. Pakistan in its 1956 constitution was named from Pakistan into Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Now Pakistan's name is not Pakistan but Islamic Republic of Pakistan in which we live. It was the first constitution in 1956 of Pakistan. 1958's military coup. General Ayub Khan seized power, political power in a military coup. Military rule in Pakistan began for the first time by General Ayub Khan. In 1971, Bangladesh, which was called East Pakistan, separated from us because of political turmoil, political issues in Bangladesh and here. There were different reasons, maybe injustice as well, but East Pakistan was far, and between there was India. Going there, coming back from there, dealing with all these affairs was a difficult task for Pakistan, because of which East Pakistan became a separate country called Bangladesh today. In 1977, military rule came once again. General Muhammad Zia ul Haq seized military power that lasted till 1988. From 1977 till 1988, there was military power by General Zia ul Haq, and now this was pre-independence part, and this was after the independence, and this is the modern era that we are living in today. 1988, Benazir Bhutto's election, first election, and she becomes the first female prime minister of Pakistan and the Muslim world. Then in 1998, Pakistan became powerful. Today, whatever Pakistan has, it's because of this thing. That in 1998, Pakistan assumed nuclear power, becoming the 7th country in the world to have the nuclear powers in this world. And it's because of our nuclear powers that we are saved from different countries of the world, different atomic and energized countries of the world like US, our arch rival India, and different other countries. Their threats are no more threats for us because we are also a nuclear country. 2001 War on Terror. Pakistan joined US war on terror after 9/11's attacks on their buildings of their country. So these were the important things that we discussed in historical events of Pakistan, the sacrifices made by the great leaders of Pakistan and all these things. I hope you enjoyed and understood this well. If you have any questions regarding this, please ask. Thank you so much.